Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Please let me know if you can hear me.
Good afternoon.
Yes, we
Good
can hear you.
afternoon, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm just going to share my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen as well. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So welcome everyone. Welcome to our session today. It's a continuation of the M365 introduction. My name is Nyore Ohwahwa. I'm a SharePoint and OneDrive subject matter expert, and um, our speaker today is Joshua. So we're still continuing the M365 study series, like I earlier stated. We're going to be talking about managing the M365 accounts, licenses, groups, basically still talking about the admin center, right? So um, Joshua is a project manager, um, a Dango developer, M365 solution architect, a technical trainer, a modern workplace engineer that offers professional challenges, utilizing interpersonal skills, excellent time management skills, and problem solving skills. He's organized and dependable, very successful at managing multiple priorities with a positive attitude. So he's going to be taking us on the session today. I believe you're going to enjoy the session and you're going to learn a lot today. So housekeeping rules. This session will be recorded and will be made available for future viewing on the chat. Please mute your mic during the session. You would have time to ask questions after the session. So you can pen down your questions until the Q&A session. And then for updates and for information, you can follow us on our Twitter page, which you can see on the screen. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep up to date with all the events that we'll have and will have in the future. And basically, you can find our videos there as well. And then you can feel the feedback. I'll be dropping the link on the chat while the session is going on, so you can drop your feedback. Um, that so I think I would hand over to Joshua now, and then he can take us on today's session. Hi, Joshua. Are you here?
Hi, Nyore, I'm here. Good afternoon,
Okay.
everyone. Can anyone
Good,
hear me?
good afternoon, boss.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, Nyore, for the introduction, and thanks everyone for coming on this call to continue the part two or part three series of um, the Microsoft 365 fundamentals. Yeah, I would be your speaker today. I'll be your speaker today, and please listen attentively, and then it will be hands-on, yeah. Um, and then we would go through a lot. However, I'll try to keep to time so that we don't get overwhelmed with what we would be doing today. Okay, thanks. So before just to jump into the topic today, right? Talking about managing user accounts, licenses, and groups, right? Yeah. Before I share my screen, I would just like us to listen for a while. I would like to explain one or two things, right? So yeah. So when we talk about user accounts, we talk about um, like the name implies, users, right? Account in Office 365. But before that, there are things that make up the user account, yeah, object and the likes, and then we have types of accounts. So I would like us to just get acquainted or brief us on what those things are before we dive into the practical session, right? So I would like to start with what a recipient is in Office 365, in Exchange Online, in Azure, in Microsoft 365. I would just like to um, brief us on what it is. Can we hear? Can we hear me?
We can hear, but we
Yes,
cannot
please.
see the screen.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'll share your screen. Don't worry. So I just want us to listen attentively, and then for just 10 minutes, and then I'll share my screen. Is that okay? Hello?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, thanks. So just quickly, I would like to tell us about what a recipient is in Microsoft 365, in Exchange Online, in Microsoft 365. So a recipient is a mail enabled object. A recipient is a mail enabled object. What is an object? I believe in the last session, right, with Solomon must have shown you or told you guys about some other things in Microsoft 365, and then a little about Azure Active Directory. And I believe he also told you that Microsoft 365 is sitting on Azure Active Directory, right? So the technologies in Microsoft 365, all the technologies in Microsoft 365 are intertwined. They are all encompassing, right? They are linked to one another. So an object in Microsoft 365 is an object in Azure Active Directory, right? It's a high-level data construct that represents things like users, groups, computers, printers, contacts, and the likes. So please take note of this. It's a high-level construct that represents things like users, which we are coming to, right? Groups, which we would look at, computers, printers, contacts, and the likes. So going back to the definition of what a recipient is in Microsoft 365 in Exchange Online, is a mail-enabled object. That object can be a user. That object can be a group. That object can be a contact, can be a computer, right? So any object that is mail-enabled is allowed or is permitted to receive emails or to send out emails. All right, I hope we get that explanation. Short, simple, and straight to the point. So, however, we have types of recipient. We have some types of recipient, right? We have um, we have the users, which we'll be looking at. We have resources. We have groups. We have collaboration, and those are the four recipient types we have. And then we would be concentrating on the user recipient type and then the group recipient type. Quickly, like I said earlier, a recipient type is a mail-enabled object that can send or receive email. So under the user type of recipient or user recipient type, we have subdivisions. Basically, we have the user mailbox, we have the shared mailbox, we have the mail contact, we have the mail user. Yeah, those are the four sub um, sub user types, sub user recipient types. We have the user mailbox, we have the shared mailbox, we have the mail contact, and then we have the mail user, right? We would be looking at the user mailbox today. Like I said earlier, uh, uh, a mail-enabled object that can receive or send email. A mailbox that is assigned to someone, or a mailbox that's assigned to someone. That someone is an object. That object is a user, right? And then that is a user mailbox assigned to an individual. a shared mailbox is accessed to by multiple users. We have more than 2 users accessing a shared mailbox. It's kind of like the name implies, something that is shared by more than one person, right? And then we have contact and the like. So quickly, I also quickly like to tell us about the groups. Here we have groups in Microsoft 365. You have the ability to select 1 or 2 persons to be part of a group, depending on the permissions they have, depending on the on what or the function you want them to perform, right? Okay. Thank you, Really. I'll be sharing my screen now. Sharing my screen now. So please let me know when you can see my screen. Can anyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Joy. So quickly, I'll be diving into the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. Right. I believe before now, from the previous session with Solomon, you all have your tenants, your trial tenants or test tenants created, and it's opened on your PCs, right? So you can follow along. So before you do anything, I would like you to just concentrate on what I'll be doing, and then we can do 1 or 2 things together. Yeah. Okay, so I spoke about recipient, right? A mail-enabled object that can be, and the object can be a user, a computer, a group, or a contact, right? And then I also talk about recipient types, right? The user, recipient type, the group, collaboration, and the likes. So under the user, we have the user mailbox, the shared mailbox, the mail contact, and the mail user. So yeah, this is the portal through which everything Microsoft 365 is being handled. And in this portal, we have links to other portals, other admin centers. For example, at the bottom here, we have admin centers. We have links, these links to the security admin center, compliance admin center, Azure Active Directory, Exchange Online, SharePoint Teams. We have much more um, a lot of other admin centers because Microsoft 365 is, like I said earlier, an encompassing technology that cuts across different solutions, different solutions. So all these solutions, all these technologies can be accessed through the Microsoft 365. As you can see it here, Microsoft 365 Admin Center. Here we have other admin centers. Here, when you click on all admin centers, you have links to other admin centers. And this is dependent on the licenses you have, right? So what's the license? A license gives someone permission to be able to carry out a function. Yeah. So for example, for me to enter into let's say White House or Aso Rock rather, I need to be given a license. And what's that license? Maybe a clearance, an ID card that shows that I'm permitted to enter. So something like that. A license is a permission that allows you to perform a function in anywhere you find yourself. So in Office 365 or Microsoft 365, a license gives you the ability to use certain technologies. Yeah. And this is where it is managed from, the billing portal. This is a billing portal. We would come to that, right? So I would like to okay, I have this is where admin the user account is managed from, right? The user, active users, contact, guest, deleted, everything is managed here. We would come back to this place. But like I said, what gives this user permission to have access to whatever resources Microsoft 365 is offering is the license. And then I'd like to talk about the licenses first before we come back to do 1 or 2 things here. Is that okay? Please confirm if you can hear me clearly. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Thank you. Okay, and please confirm, Joy, that you can still see my screen.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Quickly, I would like us to talk about the product we have, and then this product comes with different licenses that allows us to use different allows to access different solutions, different technologies in Microsoft 365. So for the Microsoft 365 product, we have the home. Please take notes. We have the Microsoft 365 home. We have the Microsoft 365 for business. We have the Microsoft 365 for education. We have the Microsoft 365 for enterprise. We have the Microsoft 365 for government. We have the Microsoft 365 for non-profit, and we have the Microsoft 365 for apps. So they are all listed here, as you can see them here. This gives different level of access based on the licenses, right? Based on the license, you have different level of access, different levels of permissions to use certain resources in Microsoft 365. But the one we would be basing on today is the Microsoft 365 for business. So I would like to show something, right? The Microsoft 365 for home is for individuals, right? Personal use of Microsoft 365. I can have one for myself, my family, and those of us that are married, for your children, right? Depending on what we want. But if we are running a small, medium, or large scale business, right, we need the Microsoft 365 for business, especially for small and medium scale, right? And then if we have an enterprise, enterprises like Microsoft itself, conglomerates, big large organizations over that uses or that have staff that are over 2,000, not even 2,000, 250 staff, and they need access to Microsoft 365 resources. Yeah, so that's when the enterprise licenses comes in. And then for education, like the name implies, is used for schools, universities, secondary schools, and the likes. And then for government, these are special tenant, these are special packages, product packages for certain government of certain countries. And then in non-profit, as long as you are running an NGO, you are registered, you have all your papers complete, you can apply for the non-profit um, license. And then, yeah, some of the non-profit license, I think the basic ones are free, yeah. And then if you want higher number of licenses, you can go for the higher ones. And then Microsoft 365 for apps, it this gives you the ability to use Microsoft 365 apps applications, just for you to download the applications on your PC, right? So quickly, I would want to talk, like I said, I will be concentrating on the Microsoft 365 for business. So for business, we have the Microsoft 365 Business Basic. So these product packages we just looked at, they are subdivided also into different licenses, different levels of licenses. So we have the Microsoft 365 Business Basic, which just gives you access to web versions of the apps, Microsoft 365 apps. It only allows you to use the web version. You can only use it on the web by signing to office365.com and then use your login details to access your account. You are able to use the Microsoft 365 application. So for example, yes, for example, we have them here, right? So these are some of the apps we have available. So let me click on all apps so that we can see everything. So we have my license is different, right? So that's why I have access to additional applications. Okay. So we have PowerPoint, we have SharePoint, we have Sway, we have Streams, we have Teams, we have To Do, we have VCO, Viva Insight, Whiteboards, Word, Yammer, right? So Business Basic gives you access to the online version of some of these apps, not all. Like I said, I have my license is different from Business Basic. That's why I have access to additional applications. So, for example, what you have access to on the web for Business Basic is the Microsoft Word. As you can see here, Word. You have Excel. You have PowerPoint. You have Teams, Outlook, Exchange that allows you to send or receive emails, and then OneDrive and SharePoint. So these are the applications you have access to on the web when you have a Microsoft 365 Business Basic license assigned to a user. Remember, a user is a recipient is a mail enabled object. An object is a high level construct, such like a user. So for a user to access this, for that user to access these applications, right? These solutions using you need access to you need a license that gives you permission to use these solutions. And then if you are using the Microsoft 365 Business Basic, yeah, you have access to only these eight services here, these solutions here. Yeah. And then we also have the Microsoft 365 apps for business. So what this does is one thing you should know about these licenses uh, is these licenses can be on a monthly basis, can be purchased or paid for on a monthly basis or um, annually. Yeah. So if you are paying on a monthly basis, you have you pay for Microsoft 365 Business Basic, you pay $6, right, for one user. So if in your organization you are like 2,000 and you need access to you need all of them to have access to these solutions, right? It means you need to get licenses. You need to get 2,000 licenses. That's if you're using Business Basic. So that's $6 times 2,000. However, if you are paying annually, there's kind of a discount that Microsoft gives. So, but basically, before you use any of the solutions, any of the any of um these solutions, right? Any of these licenses, Microsoft usually gives 1 month free trial for you to test it out. They give you test it out and see that you like it, you are comfortable with it, you enjoy it. So trying it for 30 days, every day, using it every day, and you know you like it, then you can pay for it. However, if you still don't like it, then you can go away. You can decide not to pay for it. And then sometimes Microsoft also gives the opportunity to extend that trial period from 30 days to like 60 days. So if you're not done using it for you are not satisfied in the first 30 days you used it, you can reach out to Microsoft and then they are able to extend it. So we have the Microsoft 365 Business Basic, Microsoft 365 Apps for Business. So this gives you the opportunity to download only the applications on your PC. Yeah, this one allows you to use these solutions on the web. However, Apps for Business allows you to download this on your PC, on your mobile devices. Right? You have Word, allows you to download Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook. Then you can sync your OneDrive from the web to your PC. You also have access to um, access database for database and then publisher. Then the next one is the business standard, Microsoft 365 business standard. So this gives you access to the web, and then also access to um, um, gives you access to also download the applications on your PC. So the business standard is like kind of a combination of Microsoft 365 Business Basic and Microsoft 365 apps for business, right? So as you can see here at the bottom, it's a combination of these two together, and then this. So the reason why these licenses are divided into this is kind of like I said, permission. They are on different levels. As a staff of Microsoft, like let's say the front desk staff has a different permission level to those in the core development part, those in the management section, those in the finance section, those in different sections. So these are levels of access to Microsoft 365 resources. And then for the business, right, the one with the highest privilege is the Microsoft 365 Business Premium. As you can see, it's the most expensive, and then it's a combination of these three: Business Basic, Apps for Business, and Business Standard, with advanced features of security, access and data control, and then cyber threat protection, as you can see here. So these are the licenses, different licenses for Microsoft 365. So thank you for listening to me, and then we would be launching into the admin center now to really look at everything we've seen here, everything we've discussed, right? So this is the admin center. I'm back to the admin center. Joy, can you confirm that you can see my screen, the admin center?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, so this is the admin center. Like I said, the Microsoft 365 admin center. It's different from every other. It's like um, um, a one place stop, a one place stop for all the other admin centers for Microsoft 365, and the place through which you can access every other admin centers. Yeah, if you know the URLs to these other admin centers, you can access them directly. However, this is like where everything is in, and then this is where you manipulate your users. By manipulation, I mean you can create users, you can delete users, you can convert a user to a shared mailbox, and then you can do a lot of things here. So yeah, we'll be launching into the user section of the Microsoft 365 admin center. And please, I would like you to note the steps I am taking, right? Yeah, the section is the session is actually being recorded. I would like you to follow keenly what I'm doing, right? So when you click on the, on users, before I go forward, I hope you guys know how to get to this point. Anybody?
Yes.
Okay. Who said yes? Is Joy? Okay, I think I would start calling names. Let me navigate through people. Okay. Okpeyemi Dairo. Is he here? Okay. Williams.
I'm here, sir.
Okay. Can you tell us how to navigate to the office, Microsoft 365 Admin Center quickly? I can't hear you. Okay, Williams, we can't hear you. Joseph Adiroju, can you help us?
So what's the question was? Sorry,
Do you know
I
how
have a network
to,
issue.
no worries. Do you know how to navigate to the Microsoft 365 admin portal?
To navigate to my Facilities 5 admin portal, if I'm not mistaken, when I did my own developer, whatever, tenants, I always navigate through when I put in my Gmail through my Microsoft account, office.com.
Okay, that's what I was
Through my
saying.
office,
Thank you.
through office.com. So I can put my Gmail and enter into all the access all the products.
Thank you,
I see
Joseph.
my admin. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Joseph. Yes, that's how you navigate through the Microsoft 365 admin portal. You go to office.com. So I'll be doing something. I'll open an in private mode. You go to office.com quickly, and then you sign in with the credentials with which you created an Office 365 tenant. I know Solomon did justice to that, showed you the steps on how to create an Office 365 tenant. Yeah, and I believe all of us have done that. So you come to office.com and then you sign in with the account you created the tenant with. So when you do that, since you're the one that created the tenant, you have admin privileges, right? Yes. So and then it brings you to this point. When you sign in, it brings you to this point. This is the first, this is the first page you see when you sign in, yes. And then you can come to the grid here, the app launcher grid, click on it, and then you see the admin portal logo. Yeah, you click on it, it brings you to the admin portal where you can manage your users, you can manage your billing, your groups, you can also manage other admin, or you can through here you can navigate to other admin centers, right? Yeah, so clicking on users, it brings up additional also menus. Yeah, we click on active user. Like I said, we have different types of users, right? The user mailbox, the shared mailbox, a mail contact, a mail user, right? So I can create a user here without a license. And if I create a user without a license, that means that that user has limited access to certain resources in the Office Microsoft 365 portal. Is that clear? That's what I said earlier, right? So users with licenses, depending on the license assigned to that user, right, also have access to certain or additional resources. Yeah. So quickly steps on just we'll quickly go over the steps of creating a user and then how to manipulate that user, how to assign licenses and the likes. Yeah. So the first step is click on users, right? Active users, add a user. So you need to give it, you need to fill in this empty spaces, right? You need to give it a first name, a last name, a display name, a username, and then remember this domain. Hmm? This domain comes automatically. So when creating your Office 365 tenant, there's a part where it asks you to impute the domain name you want to use. Let's say I'm creating a tenant and then I got to that part and then I imputed Joshua and Sons Limited, right? So because I'm imputing Joshua and Sons Limited and I've not added my custom domain. So peradventure, I have a custom domain for Joshua and Sons Limited.com, Joshua and Sons Limited.com, right? So before I get to that part, right, Microsoft asked me to impute the domain I would like to use. Imputing Joshua and Sons Limited creates a domain, a default domain with the on Microsoft.com domain name for my tenant. This comes by default. Every tenant you create, every tenant created comes with a default .onmicrosoft.com domain. with the name of your domain. After which, when you create your tenant, everything is set. You can add a custom domain, which we would look at how to do that, and then verify the domains and the likes. So let's quickly do quickly create a user. Let me use Joy first name, Joseph second name, and when I click here, this field, that's the display name field, it is automatically populated. Can we see that? It is automatically populated. By filling these two fields, the display name field is automatically populated. And then I choose a username. So depending on the company, right, or on your company or the company where you would be working or company where you work, there's a naming convention. Some companies try to start with the surname first, which is the last name, then dot the last name. Some companies is the first name dot the last name. Some companies it's just the first name and then the domain name. And then some companies you can just choose any username, maybe your preferred name. I believe you must have seen applications where you say impute your first name, last name, and then a preferred name you would like to be called with, right? Yeah, so something like that. And quickly before I go on, please note that the domain part, right? You can add more than one domains, more than one custom domains. Yeah, we will look at that also, but I'm going to quickly say something about that. You can have, let's say, joshuaandsonslimited.com. I can have joy.joseph, joyandjoseph.com. I can have Emmanuel.com, a lot. So they are all under the same Microsoft 365 tenant. However, I want them to be using different domains. So maybe I have a company that also have some other sub components on that, and then I want to use the same Microsoft 365 tenant to manage to have users under each of those companies, and then they can carry out their different functions, right? So let's take note of that, and we would come to that. So let's say the username. Let's use the first name and the last name, which is joy.joseph, and then it checks for the availability. If there is no error, you won't see anything here. But if there's an error, for example, let me show you something. Let's say Josh. Okay. I want it to give us an error quickly. Let's see. Okay. Let me quickly check for a name that already exists. Let's see. What I did is I just duplicated the tab I'm working on so that it brings up this for me. So I have admin. So let me use this admin. So I come back here and I see admin. See? So it gives me an error that this username is already being used by an active user. It gives out information about the user and then the email. So please use a different name. So even if you're trying to reuse a name that has been used, it gives you it prompts you for this error to try another name. So as long as you don't see this error, then it means it accepts the username you are trying to use, right? So this shouldn't give us any issue. Yeah. So also you can you can you can create automatically create a password for this user you're trying to create, right? And then you can also require that this user change their password when they first sign in. And then you can send the password, the details of what you just created to the user. So for example, we employ Joseph into the Microsoft 365 community, and then what he read,
Amen.
the email, with which we have been communicating before he's been employed is Please, if I did not call you to speak, please let's mute our mics. And please do not turn on your videos, please. Thanks. Okay. I was somewhere, right? Okay, so I was saying Joseph is employed or is being employed into the Microsoft 365 community, right? But before that, the processes through which he went through from coming in for testing and the likes, we have been communicating to him with his Gmail or something. So immediately he's employed and an Office 365 account is created for him. We can add his Gmail here and say joy.joseph at gmail.com, for example, and then we send these credentials and a password is automatically created for this person, and then the steps on how to change their password is also contained in the email that would be sent to this account. So all Joy needs to do is to access this Gmail, click on the link there, follow the steps, and then change your password and then log in to office.com with that credential. And then they are able to access the Microsoft 365 access Microsoft 365 depending on the licenses they have, right? So this account is not real, I don't know. So I will not want to do that. So another method is what I can do is I can create a password for this user. Let's see.
Sorry, please answer the screen now.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Okay. All right, so I just created a password for this user, right? And then I would click on supposed to do something else.
Says the password is weak.
Yeah, I see that. Just give me a moment. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So these are some of the things you would face, right? When creating a user. The password is weak. You get a prompt for that. The password contains a word, phrase, or series of numbers that makes it easily guessable, right? Things like that. So let me use something else. Who can suggest a password for me, please? Joy. Joseph. Joy, please go first. Can you suggest a password?
Okay, maybe we
Next,
just use
Go ahead,
maybe you
please.
just change the numbers. The numbers.
Okay.
Maybe 25, 25, not 1, 2, 3.
All right. So, so this is strong enough, right? So one thing I would like us to take note of is, as you can see here, there is an instruction on how to create a password, because we have lots of issues where accounts are being compromised, right? So, but however, Microsoft has put in place measures that you yourself, the first point of contact for you to secure your account is you. So you need to create a very strong password, and then you get before you proceed. So I'm gonna click on next, right? So I'm gonna click on next, and then it brings me to the next page, which is to assign a product license. Yeah. So it brings me to this place, right? If you see the select location, it doesn't come up, it doesn't show. I can't change it, I can't do anything. It will, even if I change, it's gonna go back, right? So let me go next. Sorry. So this part, when you were creating your Microsoft 365 account or your tenant, it's ask there's a portion or a place where you are being required to select the country in which you are at the moment. Yeah. So this is where the location is set. So for the licenses, right, you have different licenses available. So we have looked at the Microsoft 365 Business Basic, the apps for business, the business standard, and then business premium. So before I continue this page, let me go back to the other tab where I opened. Let's go to billing. So click on billing, right? You have purchase services, your product licenses, bills and payments, billing accounts, payment methods, billing notifications, right? So for you to get first, for you to see all the licenses you have, you click on your product, right? Click on your product, and then here you have listed all the products, all the licenses or products you have in your tenant. So you please take note that you can have more than one product. You can even have all four: business basic, apps for business, um, business standard, and then business premium. Although sometimes here they conflict. Yeah, we'll get to that when you have one or two licenses that have similar solutions or similar licenses here. They conflict to give you the error, and then you know what to do. We'll also show you that. So this is where all the products you have in your tenant is listed, right? And then if you want to purchase, let's say, another product, you always come to purchase licenses, and then you know what you're looking for. You've made your research, you've carried out your research, and then you say you want one of the Microsoft 365 business packages, and then you can also select any of these, and then it filters down the licenses it's going to show, right? And then you have the business premium month to month. This is monthly pay. You pay every month. I'd like to say something, right? I made a statement earlier that we can pay for these solutions, these licenses, these products monthly and annually. However, even annually, you can decide to choose to pay annually. However, you also pay monthly. So there's what we call annual pay, monthly pay. So I want an annual package, but however, I want to be paying every month. I want an annual package and I want to pay once. Annual pay, monthly pay, annual pay, yearly pay. So just take note of that, because you'll be seeing um, packages like this, product packages like this, month to month, and then the one without anything in bracket. So you also have standard month to month, then standard without anything in bracket, and you have apps of business month to month, business basic. So here they are. So all you need to do if you want to purchase this, right? Let's say you want to purchase the highest Microsoft 365 business product package, which is the business premium for this. You click on details. Sorry, let me go back. Before you do this, right? You can also compare. You can decide to compare this. You can decide to compare these four or these three, and you see as I select them here, they are selected up here, and then you click on compare. It brings you to a page where you compare the license itself, these three licenses, right? As you can see here, you have what's included, what's partially included, and what's not included. So let's compare this. Let me reduce my screen. 90. Okay, yeah. So for for the apps that are included in in all these three solutions. Let me still use this 18 in all these three products: the business premium, business standard, and business apps for business. Sorry. So as you can see, included apps, all these apps are included. They are checked. They are checked. Let's see. Okay, for collaboration and communication, right? For business premium, you have plan one. As you can see, let's even start from here. This is included. This is included. This is partially included. This means that there are some things that these two have that this does not have, right? So we have exchange, plan one, both of them have, this does not have. But for OneDrive, all of them have everything in common. For SharePoint, it's only the premium and the business standard that has plan one, and then the likes. So let's even compare for Azure Active Directory now. So as you can see, I said this is the highest for business, right? Business package. So it has premium plan one. Business standard does not have that. Apps for business does not have that. And as you go through, you see a lot of things that are included in all these solutions when you compare them. Some are included in some, and some are not included in other packages. Yeah, quickly. So yeah, that's that. So now okay, so yeah. So let me go back to where I was trying to purchase this. Yeah, and then I click on this. I want to purchase business premium. I click on details, right? It gives me additional details about this package, the Microsoft 365 business premium package. And then it also shows me other things, additional information about other packages, right? And then when I'm satisfied, when I've gone through all this and I'm satisfied that this is the license I want to, the product I want to go for, I can then click on buy, right? So, but depending on, like I said, depending on the number of users you want to get this license for, I can get business premium for only the management level, the CEO, the CTO, the COO, the CCO, right? And then get business basic just for the having access to the app versions of the softwares. I can get that for the front desk, right? And then depending on how my organization is organized or how I want to organize my organization, right? So depending on that, so I can decide to go for, let's say I have a very large organization, let's say 2000, and select any number. Yeah, so it says 300. Let's see. So I said earlier, right? Business is the medium, the small and medium scale. So I cannot get 3000. Please take note. I can't get 3000 licenses because I would need to have to elevate my license or the product package to that means I'm an enterprise organization. So I will need to go for the enterprise solutions. That's what it means. I'm an enterprise organization. I will need to go for the enterprise solution, enterprise product that gives access to more than what the business package is giving. So I can select, let's see, hold on. Even if I type 500, it goes back to 300. So 300 is the maximum for the business, small and large scale businesses. So I select 300. I can, please note, I selected Microsoft 365 Business Premium month to month. So I can also, after buying this, I can also go and get additional 300 for Microsoft 365 Business Premium without the month to month. I can get both, right? And then have all this. So what I need to do next is to click on buy, right? I click on buy. It takes me to the point where I need to do some to fill some bills. So just give me a moment. It's where your credit card details, and then before you can make payment, right? So it goes through your tenant and then selects your company name, and then um, you have to fill the city. All these fields are compulsory with the asterisk, the red asterisk. They are compulsory. You have to fill the state. You have to fill the impute the zip code, and then the email. When you do this, you click on next. It's gonna take you to the part where you need to impute your credit card. However, um, let's see something. Excuse me. Okay. So, however, you can also do something. Let me come back here. Remember when we came to billing and it showed us the submenus? We have the billing, bills and payments, we have the billing account, and then other things, right? So here, if you have purchased a license before now, you would see all your invoices are listed here. And then you have what we call the payment method where you add your credit card, right? I can decide to add my credit card from here, and then when I get to this point, it automatically picks my credit card. I'll just select the credit card and then goes next to the next stage of menu. So payment method here first, or I can do that while trying to purchase a license. So if I'm doing that first from here, from bills and payment, and then payment methods, right? I impute my credit card. Please note this is very confidential. Even at Microsoft, they will tell you not to divulge this information to anybody, even to their staff, right? This is very, very confidential. So you need to take note of that and enter the security code, the expiration date, the year and the month, then the name, everything is populated, and you need to impute the name on the card and the likes, and then you fill out this portion appropriately. And when this is done appropriately, right? I remember where I was trying to select a license, um, my tenant is created for the US, right? So it automatically picks my country and that. So yeah, that's that one. Yeah, and then this is how to purchase um license. You click on save. It's not going to go through because I didn't add any address here. And please note, when adding an address here, it needs to correspond with the country in which this tenant is created, which is the US. The state, for example, I select the state. I need to, let's say I select Colorado. I need to get an address in Colorado. So most of the times what we usually do for customers when they have this issue is to go on Google and then type in their address from there. As long as it's been seen there or the nearest to their location, they will pick it and impute here. It automatically picks this, right? And then this errors goes away. So I would assume I've purchased this license, this product, right? And then I would then go back to what I was doing earlier. So assuming I purchase, let's say the Microsoft Teams Exploratory. Yeah, I select this for this user I'm trying to create, which is Joy Joseph, right? And then you can see it. It also tells me the number of licenses that are available here. Number of licenses that are available here, right? I've used only 5 out of these, so 195 licenses, additional licenses are available. So I can add additional 195 user accounts. So I click on next quickly, and then here, this is where I select the role. So The license gives you permission to certain resources, and then the roles also give you permission to access or to carry out certain functions. So for this user, right, I'm going to be choosing a user account, no admin center access. So if this user logs into office.com, this user is not able to do or to carry out any admin function. This user is not able to come to this admin portal to do anything, right? But if I select that I want to give this user an admin role, I can decide to give the user any of these roles. If I decide to give this user the admin, the user admin, it means this user can only perform user administration functions. If I give this user the Teams admin role, it means that this user can only perform Teams functions. If I Same thing with SharePoint, same thing with help desk, service support, global reader, Exchange administrator. However, if I give this user global admin, this user can access every other admin portals, right? So, but I don't want to do that, right? I want to give this user just an admin, just a user. I just want to create this user as just a user without any admin privilege. So I click on next, and then this brings up a review page. Before we click on finish, for you to cross-check if the name, the display name, everything is correct, and you need to edit the password, you need to edit or change the license, right? Change your role, you can also do that from here before you finalize. And then if you want to also add additional information for this user, let's say you want to impute its job title, let's say um, um, support engineer, and then you have a department already created in your Azure Active Directory, you can, or you want to create a department here, you can say IT, Office, Nigeria, and you can impute the phone number. If you have a fax, you can impute the mobile number, the street, everything. You can just fill all these things up, right? And then click on next. And click on finish adding. I hope I remember this password. Yeah, so this will take a while, yeah. And then this user is created. This user is now created in this Microsoft 365 tenant. So let's see something. Okay, let me copy this. And then what does this user need to do? All this user needs to do is quickly sign in. I send the details to the user to Joy, and then the user is able to sign into office.com with this credential. So I need to confirm the credential Joy. Let me just copy this. Yeah. So normally this is sent to the user's inbox, Gmail or Yahoo or AOL or any of the email services you use, right? And then okay, and then this user signs in. So quickly you get a page like this. So if you are if you are someone like me that always wants this to be open at any time I come back, I can always click on office.com and signs me into this account. I can um, um, select yes to stay signed in, or no, not to stay signed in, right? So I click on yes quickly, past time, and then you're signing to your account. So if you
Hi,
notice,
Joshua. Sorry to interrupt.
yeah,
So we spent over an hour now, so you can just try to, if you can try to round up so we can have the Q&A. So maybe we can continue with this session um next week or so. So
yeah, thanks, thank you.
thank you.
2 more minutes, yeah. Okay, so when this user signs in, yeah, this is what the user sees. This is what Joy Joseph sees. clicking on app launcher, you see you have access to these apps. Because I did not give this user an admin privilege, this user cannot access the admin center, right? Um, yeah. So that's that about the user account, the licenses. So quickly about the groups. Yeah, I can I can we have types of groups, right? Groups allows you to have um, group of persons, one or two persons, no, two or more persons having access to certain resources, certain privileges, and yeah, basically. So you can have from here, you can have the Microsoft 365 groups, you can have a distribution list, you can have a mail-enabled security group, and you can also have the security groups. These are different types of groups, and they give you access to different level of information and resources. Yeah. Um, um, I don't want to dive into this, but let me. Okay. Yeah. So these are the different types of groups you have, and then creating a group and adding users to any of these groups, right, gives you access to different resources, different levels of resources. So quickly, let me try to create one group. We would look at this again. So we have the 365 group distribution list, email enabled security group, and then the security group. So as you can see from here, it even gives you information about the types of groups. For the Microsoft 365 groups, right, which is always recommended by Microsoft, it allows you to create a group email for you to collaborate, right? So you have a group, a Microsoft 365 group, an email is created for that group, and then those in that group can collaborate together. They can share files, they can chat, they can share their calendars together, and then um, only those in that group, right, can do that. Let me choose this. Let's give it a name. Let's say series 3, um, M365 Ninja series 3. Everything in description. And then the owner, I can select the owner here quickly. Yeah, I'm the owner, so I would select this, add, yeah, and then I can add the members. So let me add Joy, one I just created. Um, yeah, Joy. I can also add Alex. Yes. So this means that I am the owner of this group and I have 3 members. It means that it's only the 4 of us in this group that can communicate, that can collaborate, that can share calendars, that can share emails, that can share files, right? So, and then we can also have a group email series 3, we can give it a name, series 3, and then the privacy now, right? If we leave it at public, other persons that are not part of this group can see this group and they can even request to join. But if I put it on private, it means this is closed to only the 4 persons, the owner and the other 3 members, right? I want it private. And then I review everything is correct. I create a group. So it means that it's only the 3 members and the owner of this group that can access whatsoever file, whatsoever chat is in that group. And so I would like to stop here and then we'll continue in the next session, the next series, right? Thank you very much for listening. I hope I did not bore us with